deal. Joining us now, Moor Insights and Strategy CEO, Patrick Moorhead. Pat, it's been a while. Good to see you. How does this deal, first off, change Broadcom, right? Because now software as part of VMware going to be a much bigger part of that company. And then how does it upset the entire industry space and Broadcom's potential influence in it?
Yeah, so John, thanks for having me on again. So first off, I think we were all surprised when Broadcom, the chip company, decided to get into software, and then they took out CA and then Symantec. But here we are really going after the broadest base company from an enterprise perspective. Every enterprise uses VMware in some way, shape, or form. And I do think that this is disruptive, but and I think we have to always give Broadcom CEO Hock Tan credit for the ability to do this. But it's going to be interesting to see if Broadcom runs its typical playbook, which is doubling, maybe tripling prices, slashing research, how that would work with the VMware base of customers.
Well, VMware is already expensive from what I hear from IT buyers out there. So I don't know how much room there is to raise prices. I wonder, though, it's kind of different use cases, what you're doing with VMware software versus what you're buying on the chip side from Broadcom. Are there efficiencies within the sales force to be gained here? Or is this more of a conglomerate strategy where you got this over here, you got that over there, and there's not necessarily a place where the twain shall meet?
John, I've thought about this a lot. I've listened to indications from the company on what it wants to do to find strategic value amongst its assets, and I'm not finding them right now. So I see this as a conglomerate play, the ability to do another giant roll-up, and essentially they believe they can better monetize it than the current owners and management.
Yeah, and Pat, as you were kind of saying, we give Hock Tan a lot of credit, or the benefit of the doubt at least, because he has been successful in rolling in software companies to the broader Broadcom. But what are the chances this doesn't succeed, that this amounts to a distraction and there aren't enough synergies, or it's not as successful as part of a big tech conglomerate?
Yeah, so first off, I don't see too many regulatory challenges on this. And aside from a customer revolt, I see this going through. I think, though, customers are going to want to get some confirmation from Hock Tan that he's not going to come in and raise prices, because quite frankly, this has been the playbook, whether it's switching, whether it's other acquisitions that have been made. And to switch out of VMware is really hard. The cost and the time it might take, if you're an enterprise, you have 5,000 applications that are sitting on top of VMware, it's an expensive venture.
So are you saying then that it will be too hard for customers to switch and that Hock Tan can raise prices?
I think he has the ability to raise prices because it's very hard to switch, the time to switch to a new virtualization technology, let's say like Red Hat or a KVM, or even move to a brand new technology, containers.
If that's the case, and you think that he has ability and people think that he is going to raise prices, do you think that someone else could come in here? Do you think there's going to be opposition, maybe not from regulators, but from customers to this deal?
I think there will be customer opposition to this deal, but I don't think that customer opposition could thwart the deal. I think this is going to move forward.
So, Pat, what does this, and you can combine this with Nvidia getting a bit of a bounce this morning, what does it signal to you, perhaps, about the value of strong players? I mean, we're seeing private equity active as well, seeing deals where, you know, investors certainly seem to be frightened about where the bottom might be.
Well, it's funny. I think valuations, based on what private equity is coming in with, says that valuations are appropriate. I know over the last month it's been ebbs and flows, but I think there is still demonstrative value in tech and leaders in tech. And I think this is a great example with this takeout. Well, we spent a lot of time talking about enterprise software, and you're also a chips guy. So real quick, we were talking about Nvidia earlier, some gaming headwinds, certainly. But what was your main takeaway from that quarter, from the technology side and the degree to which they might have a moat? Yeah, so first off, there's nothing that I saw from last night and the call that leads me to believe there's even a midterm change for Nvidia. They're in markets that continue to grow. They are competitive in those markets. And aside from what happened with China and Russia, I'm not seeing that change. Now, the other thing that Nvidia is in is they're in a product crossover, right? They are draining some inventory in the channel to make ready for their new 4000 generation product. And I think those together were indicative of their guide and their performance. But gaming continues to move forward. Even if you say 10% of that is crypto and there was a bottoming out in crypto, gaming continues to move forward as a market.
Awesome. Pat Moorhead, more insights and strategy. Thank you.